You're listening to ArTEEtude, a podcast with artists created and produced by Detlef Schlich, a visual artist and ritual designer, living and loving in West Cork, and best known for his essay about the cause and effect of shamanism, art and digital culture. Working in the field of performance, photography, painting, sound, installations, and film, he will dive and discover with us and a weekly creative guest into the unknown and exciting deep ocean of the creative mind.
This is Detlef Schlich, and today we dive into the unknown and exciting, unexpected, deep ocean of a very special creative mind. Today we dive into the creative mind with Zoe Szilagyi. She might tell me in a moment later on if I pronounce it right or wrong. I consider her, probably she considers herself as well as an outsider artist. She's living in Hungary, so we are connected now with Hungary. Where she's living and what and whatever, so we will know soon. My idea is to start in the first part about her life and where she was traveling with her parents and all that, because that is quite exciting. In the second part, we're probably gonna go into some details like a 2-year life in a horror house and living on a shooting tower and selling there pieces of art and in the third part we're probably gonna come back to her life in Hungary in the 90s, and we speak as well a little bit about the difficulties as what you have as an artist in Hungary as well. And so I'm so happy and delighted to have you in my ArTEEtude zone. Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
It's great to have you here.
Yes, I'm happy to be here too.
Thank you very much. Was it really? It's Zoe Szilagyi. Szilagyi.
Yes.
Szilagyi. All right.
Yeah, this is my family name.
So was it okay to call you outsider art? Was that? Are you happy with that?
Yes, because I think what I made it's outsider art. Yes, it is.
I mean, it's great. It's really very very unusual. And what I like in that is it is really, it's actually a very unconditional way to do art. I mean, it is not it's not based in a concept. It is not. It's still wild. It's still archaic, and I think that is still necessary that we have that. I mean, that I mean, what I see sometimes, if you study art, I mean, so she didn't study art. She studied art as from a child on as in life. So, but if you study art for non-artists, I say that just for then you get trained as an somehow conditional artist, you know. So, and she is really wild and rough, and that's what I love. That's really that's great. That's cool. I love it. So thank you very much. Great, cool. Zoe she's living in Hungary, and she's not just an outsider artist. She does her outsider art as well outside of a town, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do.
So how far is it apart to your next village?
I don't understand now what you.
How far do you have to go to the next village for shopping?
Yes, 5 kilometers. I live outside of town, you see. It's a little, how you call it, mountain where I live. It's outside of town. Weekend houses are here.
Yeah.
And yes, town is far, so I only go maybe once in 2 weeks to shopping. But I don't see much people you see here because it's people come here in the summer mostly and in weekends. So some people live here also for always.
Yeah.
But most people only come here at summer, and in the winter you don't see much people here.
Yeah.
But you see a lot of birds and foxes and animals and
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So you love your
yes,
nature. I mean,
yes, yes,
that's actually quite. I mean, I live here as well, quite remote, and I think it is nature can be a big relief. It can help you
yes,
very very well, even to live in some worse conditions, like what's about water and electric? Do you?
oh, I have electricity, but water I only have in the garden. There is a hole where when you have rain, there's water falling into, and
Yeah.
then you have a hydrophore, and the water comes through the hydrophore from the hole in the garden. And if there is not much rain, then you don't have no water. So
So it's a cisterne.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, yes.
All right. So is it a
Yes,
real? It's
yes,
a well. So it is a concrete hole. Yeah, hole full of
yes.
and
With it's a hole, and there is you have a hydrophore. You know what hydrophore is?
no no.
It's a machine that brings the water from the hole into the house.
So a water pump.
Yes, true. Yes, water
All
pump, and in the house I have a, I don't know what's the name in English. What makes the water warm? You know this.
uh.
So
So
you have warm water, hot water, and cold water.
okay. So you don't have a back boiler. So you don't heat up the water with.
Boiler. I have a boiler, but you cannot drink this water only in bath, and you can wash the dishes with. For drinking, you need water from the shop, or you know, you cannot drink
Honestly,
this.
so it's not so clean. Oh, that
No, 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 because it's not. I mean, when you drink, it's. I don't know. I never drank this.
you don't like it. I mean,
No,
do
it's
do
not that delicious.
are you
I
surrounded by
mean,
farmers? Do you have farmers
uh,
close to you?
uh, what's that? What
A
farmer
farmer,
is?
farmer is
Yeah.
a farmer who has cows and sheep and
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. There are some people who have horses,
yeah. So that's what I
and
mean. So maybe all that shit from horses and so gets into then the well as well somehow. Are you afraid
I
about that?
don't think. No, I don't think because they are far from me, so I don't have no neighbors.
Okay, okay, okay.
That's great, but I mean, this is rainwater, and I mean the hole that isn't very not sterile, or what do you call in English, when it's not super clean.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
no, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. Maybe you can drink this, but I don't do that. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
only bath in that, and
yeah. So
and
yeah,
and in this area where I live, there
yeah.
is also no car who takes away the trash, and post don't comes to your house. Uh, on this mountain where I live,
Yeah.
in one street there are the how you call it, where your leather comes, the um, post.
Postman, the letterman, yeah.
Yeah, the letterman that comes to
Postman, letterman. There's what carpenters think.
he doesn't comes to the house to every house, you know.
So you have to sing the wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, of course,
sing.
yes.
Okay.
And no gas here, and so it's very. I must heat with firewood.
So where do you get your firewood from the forest, or do you order it?
I buy it, you know.
So you
because,
order it and they deliver.
Yes, you cannot go to the forest and take it because it's you cannot do that because it's then you go to jail.
Yeah. It is still in Hungary quite a little bit tricky, the situation. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's better than 50 years ago or 100 or 200, but I mean, Hungary is a part of Europe, but
Yes.
they still struggle a little bit with democracy. I've looked that up as well on the index.
They struggle very, very much. I think, yes.
There's still
Yes.
some issues.
Yeah.
So we will come back later to that again. But first of all, I mean, I think it is a very tough life what you have.
Yes, it is.
But I mean, now you so do you have a bus?
Yes, I have. Yes,
So-
and I have also warm water because I have a boiler, and that makes warm water.
So how often can you
That's
drive
great.
with the bus to the village?
How much I
How,
can?
how often? How often
Bus?
can you drive by bus to the village?
Every 2 hours.
Okay,
Every
that's
2
not
hours.
that's
There's
not
a
too,
bus.
that's not too bad, isn't it? I mean,
Not, but it's only since 2 years. Before that, there was no bus.
all
Only
right.
in the morning. So before 2 years, I had to go by
Yeah.
feet to the town, and it was very hard in summer when it's hot, you know,
Yeah.
and there's no shadow, so it was very hard. And
So
then in rain,
Oh
it
God,
was not very
5
good.
kilometers without shadow
Yes.
in the summer, and without shelter in the winter if it's
No,
raining.
there is no. You must go by on the there is a valley, I think a valley it's called,
Yeah.
with grass
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything, and
yeah, and then you have to shelter there.
it's there is no shadow. You must go when it's sun is shining, you must go on the sunshine, and when it's 40 degrees also Celsius, then
Yeah.
you must go.
Is
So,
it getting
was
very
very-
hot?
Yes. I remember once I took my dog to the vet in the morning, and we came home later, and the dog was very. I thought the dog will die because it was so hot. So I must. Here's also a little. What do you call it? Not. When a little water is
Yeah.
flowing,
Yeah.
creek.
A
There's
stream.
a little creek, and
Yeah.
yes,
on
and
a- yeah.
I took my dog into the creek, you know, because it was almost dying from the heat. We came home from the wet, and
Okay.
it was
Oh,
very hot in the
God.
summer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's very. Sometimes it's very
Okay.
hard, you know.
Okay.
It's
All right.
really an underground life.
But you're used to it, to wandering around, because
Yes.
because
Yes.
though she had a very very interesting youth as well. I mean, I would like to start then from the beginning, actually, so of your life. So you're born where, in Budapest, or?
Yes, in Budapest. I was born in Budapest in an artist family. So my
Yeah.
father is an artist.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show.
And my mother, she was a teacher, but later she didn't go to work. She was just a muse of my dad.
She was the muse of your dad, which is nice as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So
and
yeah.
I like my parents very much. They were very, very nice people. So I had a very nice childhood.
Are they still alive?
No,
Both
none
not.
of them.
Oh.
They both died in. My father died in 2015, and my mother after 1 year. So no.
she was so sad that she didn't want to live anymore.
Yes, sure.
Oh.
I don't.
Mm.
But
so
I started to draw as I was very, very small. I was 1 or 2 years old when I started to draw.
Yeah.
And since then I didn't stop. So
what did you draw with 1 year? Well, do you still have images from that?
Yes, I have. I have images, and I draw everything around me. I draw my cats, people who came to us, and I remember when I was a bit older, not 1 year, but maybe 5 or 6, I draw whole stories, just like comics. So every picture was a. I made a lot of pictures, and the whole it was a comics, a story.
Yeah.
I drawed my cats and
do you know
once yes.
Yeah. Do you know if you could already draw in your age of 1 or so on a more three-dimensional way, or was it just flat like two-dimensional?
It was flat, but it wasn't like a normal child drawings. I think they were. I don't know. My father.
He already saw that.
Yes, it was different. So it was. I had a very big fantasy, and I lived in a fantasy world. And it was very alive for me. So I made very, very expressive pics, and I also draw all the stories and all the expression that comes into my life. So for example, there was a friend of my daddy. He was working in a graveyard, and once he brought a skull with hair, a real skull with hair, and then I started to draw skull. No, not skull. What's the whole?
Scar is this here. If you
skeleton. Skeleton families I draw then.
Skeleton
because
families.
I saw. Yes.
So he brought you a skeleton.
Not a whole skeleton. He brought a skull with hair.
The skull.
Real,
okay, yeah.
And then I had this idea
a real one.
Yes, a real
original one. Where did you get that from?
Yes. There was he was working in a graveyard, and there were very, very old graves from I don't know when, and they made new graves, and they I don't know they the old bones they took out, or I don't know, and he still one head. He still and
just
it
one
was
or
a
more?
skull, one, and it had very long black hair, and I liked it very much. And from that moment, I made a comics about the skeleton family. There was a skeleton girl, a skeleton mother, and they had long hair, and all kind of stories. They were going to shopping, and it was very crazy.
So how old
I liked that.
5 or 6, you say, no?
Yes. This man was a friend of my daddy, and he was a crazy man. So he once he brought also a mummified cat.
A
cat.
a mummified cat. Yes,
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 yes. He
yes.
found it somewhere, and he told me it was in his. He found it on a upstairs of a house. What do
Yeah.
you call it? In
The,
a not cellar, but the other up
the
there.
attic, the attic,
Yes, yes,
attic. Yes,
yes. He
in the
found it,
attic. Yeah.
and it was really like a horror film, you know, that cat. And yes, I liked that guy because he was kind of crazy. So
And it was very good because you had a lot of examples to draw. You know, I
yes,
mean,
yes,
so you started actually very early to draw anatomy, didn't you? I mean, if
yes,
you
yes,
so
yes, yes. And I wanted to draw. I remember I wanted to draw a woman naked, and I said to my mother, I want to draw, and my mother took her clothes off. She
yes,
laid for me, and I
yes,
made a picture of her. So I
okay.
learned it very early, you know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yes.
But I mean,
So
she probably was as well. Your father was drawing your mother as well very often, didn't he?
yes, 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 of course, yes. So that was very normal for me. I was growing up with art, with
So,
Picasso on the walls, not real Picassos, but
yeah,
from the
yeah.
newspapers. And
Probably if
so,
it would be a real
yes,
one, you wouldn't live now
yes,
without water. Uh,
yes. And Max Ernst and
Max
Dada and
Ernst.
Surrealism, Max Ernst,
I love
my father's favorite, yes.
I love Max Ernst. He is
My father made collages also, and he made a homage Max Ernst, and
for the
that's when he
for the
became
for
my
the for the,
father made so
all right
collages. Yes.
for the listeners who don't know Max Ernst. I mean, Picasso is probably a little bit more popular like Max
Yes,
Ernst.
Max Ernst I love very much. It's great.
Max Ernst is was the inventor, actually one of the before Dali of the first painters in surrealism, and
Yes, Surrealism. Yes, Surrealism.
and
Yes.
he used to invent a lot of collage things like the frottage,
Yes.
for instance.
Yes, 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 yes.
So having a the texture of a tree, and then put a piece of paper on top, and then taking charcoal
Yes.
and just rubbing, and then you have the
Yes.
texture on the paper. That
Yes.
is
It's
the
great.
invention
Yes.
of Max Ernst, and he made then collage out of that, and put them together, which
Yes.
was really unbelievable. I mean, he used to live as well, I
Yeah.
think, in Utah, and in Grand
Yes.
Canyon, Arizona, and he was very much inspired by things like this. If people are interested to see, we have actually in Germany, in Cologne, Köln-Brühl, a Max
Yes.
Ernst museum. There is one.
Yes.
Have you been there?
Great. No, but I saw Max Ernst works in Düsseldorf when I was in Germany.
All right. Okay.
I
So,
saw his sculptures. I saw
all right. Yeah. No. I mean, he's great.
the
He's
big
great. So
sculptures he also made.
that sounds really cool. So you really started from 1 year old, getting
Yes.
very close to art, and I mean,
Yes.
I think if you have that, this is probably why you can stand your life still, I would say, on a positive way. So if I
Yes.
see you so very lively, um,
Yes.
um, I mean, it is. We all know that as not a lot of artists can really make it, can really make the income. It is
Yes.
still very
It's very
difficult,
hard. Yes.
especially with outsider art, because you not really get support from institutions. What it doesn't mean as well that if you study art, you get better support from institutions, because
Yes.
the field is very small, and the pyramid is going like this, like everywhere. So it's quite difficult. So I think we artists, we can still be happy that we that we can go through our life somehow with our art, and not getting too bitter and not too depressed. So
Yes.
it is good to see that like this, and I would like to help you as well. That means so far. So if people are interested in buying your art, they can get all the informations via my website, like as well, like your Instagram account, your Facebook account, your Tumblr address, and
Yes.
you can see as well the work what Zoe is doing, and and yeah, and I think Zoe is might happy to get in contact with you. She's gonna doing commissions. You do commissions as well, don't you?
Yes, yes, in my own style. So it's my style, not photorealistic, but it's realistic. But I also, when I get a picture from someone and he writes something about him or herself, then I try to also to not only make a very dry portrait, but it's more. It's a soul also into, and I try to draw or paint the whole personality into the pic. Or I also take commissions about animals or pets of the people, like cats or dogs, because I love them very much. I have also dogs, and I have all kinds of animals.
Yeah.
So I take commissions, or what I like to do is, some people ask me if I can make a picture of them as a vampire or a werewolf or a
Uh,
zombie, and I like that very much. I make this very much. You send a photo and I
yeah.
make a picture of you
Yeah.
as a vampire,
Yeah.
and you can take any background, or what you can tell me what you want and I make it. So,
But
but
that's
also normal things. So,
yeah. But that sounds great. That sounds like big fun for
or
people
or
as
I
well,
can
isn't it?
I can I can I can paint I can paint the people with lions or leopards, or whatever they want. Crazy ideas I can make
And that's
in
that
commission too.
that sounds great. Well, so what is
Or
what?
with your favorite musician, or whatever they want.
Wow, wow. I mean,
Yes.
that sounds really great. That's so. I hope people that you're gonna go and go to Zoe and send her a message, or I mean, look on my website, and then you get as well her email or whatever, So she might be happy um as well. What was about what I mean, I can imagine as well that what I hear. I mean, I'm not gonna doing commissions actually. Not.
Yes.
I don't know. Uh, but I know from artists that they did commissions that they really getting upset and annoyed often, because sometimes a customer coming and say, oh no, I want to have this changed, so my daughter smiles on a different way.
Yes, there are some people uh, uh, who want not really art, but they want, how do you call it, when you make operation of their face. They, how do you call this?
Yeah. I even don't know now the German word. Yeah, face
Uh,
uh,
Lifting or something.
facelifting,
Yes, they
facelifting.
want space lifting and not a real portrait. And I had also people who want. There was a woman who wants her daughter. A portrait of her daughter, and she was smiling on a photo. And of course, when you smile, there you have two lines here when you
Yeah,
smile, huh? Even
yeah,
if you are young.
yeah,
But she said I shouldn't draw the line. So I
yeah,
made a portrait of her daughter, and she said I should delete the line. I should overpaint it. And at the end, it looked like a mask. Because
yeah.
I think some people are, I don't know what they think. So
They're sometimes
she
vain,
wasn't,
too.
she was young, but she was laughing. And when you are laughing, you have lines. I mean, What do they want? No idea. So.
Wow. So
But I
did
made
she
it, but I don't like the pic.
did she
I
did she
don't
like
that.
did she like the mask?
Yes. She said it beautiful, but it wasn't. And I also had from Germany
Yeah.
someone asked me to
Yeah.
draw
Oh, the
the
Germans, I
little
know.
boy.
Yeah.
Yes, they have a little boy, and it was very fat face, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I made, but it was sweet, very sweet. But I made the portrait. They say no, it's no good. The little boy isn't that fat, but he had a very round face, and they
Yeah.
didn't like it.
Yeah.
So if I draw you or I paint you, I will
Yeah.
paint your true face, and I will not make a facelifting or whatever. You know, I am an artist, and I I mean, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
You
I
you you
think
show you show the hard
people.
reality.
Yes, but I think people are beautiful because they are all different, and what is beauty? I mean,
Yeah.
I
Not
think
sure.
beauty is
It's the eye of the
uh,
beholder.
we are unique.
I mean,
We
yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know.
beauty. I mean,
Yes,
beauty and aesthetics. Aesthetics
yes,
is a never-ending story, and they philosophizing about this since our consciousness exists. You know, so
yes. I myself I like much more Marilyn Manson when he looks very crazy. I like him much more than a beautiful male who is looking great. So
yeah,
I
sure.
like.
You're
I
looking
don't know.
great as well. I mean, the people they unfortunately, if you just lift
Yes.
your ear, people can see your
Yes.
your ears. It's really
Yes.
it's great. I mean what
Yes.
all the stuff what you have
And
in
all the
that's
piercings I have, and I will also have eye tattoo.
yeah
My
yeah
my eye,
the
and I
eyebrows.
will have yes, and I will have
You
I
have a
like
tat-
body modifications, you know.
you have a tattoo in your eye.
I will have in
Okay,
May.
okay. So I would say
Yes.
we talk about that in the second part because we already
Okay. Yes.
we have the first more than 20 minutes over. So
Oh, it
I
goes over quick.
I told you it goes very quick, and we
Yes.
even didn't start
Yes.
with anything else. But I would continue that in the second part. I would love
Okay.
to know more about your eye tattoo, and
Okay.
and then yeah, I hope we see us all again, dear listeners and dear Zoe.
Yes.
Thank you very
Of
much
course.
for having you here in ArTEEtude, and uh, yes, and if you want to know, dear listeners, so my Instagram account is Det Schlich, and you find those Instagram thing or my thing as well. What is your Instagram account? It's probably difficult to uh,
Zoe Szilagyi. Ah, you have that. I
yeah
don't
yeah
know
it,
now.
yeah. But you look,
Zoe Szilagyi, but they can read it at your side then,
you
because
can
it's
find it.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm gonna put it. So that's not a problem at all. Thank you very much, though, and thank you very much, dear listeners.
I'm
And I would say I'll see you all in the second show for our. Or we all get a little eye tattoo. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.
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 This is
Bye.
a listener supported show. I feel honored if you subscribe this show. You can follow me non-financial with the following click on one of my Instagram accounts, or subscribe the visual version of this podcast on YouTube via the link below. If you like what you hear, be sure to tune in this Sunday for the third part of this ArTEEtude audio triptych. If you want to leave a donation for a coffee or a bus ticket, just follow the donation link via the ArTEEtude podcast account. Eventually, I would like to thank, through this medium, all my members and listeners of the I Love West Cork Artists Network from all over the world. Just to remember myself that without you, this year couldn't and wouldn't happen.
You have listened to ArTEEtude, West Cork's first art, fashion and design podcast. ArTEEtude, never so close again. That was too close.